Welcome to Beyond the Claim, the adjuster's voice to homeowners. Hey, I have a question for you. What kind of financial house do you live in? No, I'm not talking about your brick or siding. I'm talking about your financial house. Today, we're going to break down the four wealth houses because every homeowner is in one of these right now. Every homeowner. You're in one of these houses. And I'm going to break it down for you so we'll know exactly what type of house you're in after a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by I Will Drive For You, the platform connecting logistics companies with fully verified insurance ready drivers. If you're hiring drivers who aren't on I Will Drive For You, you're taking unnecessary risks. Our platform is the only one where every driver is pre-verified, clean MVR, valid medical card, references, and insurance ready, no excuses. In today's trucking market, you can't afford wasted time, bad hires, or insurance denials. That's why we only accept the best of the best. And if they're not here, they're not premium. For companies, that means zero guesswork. For drivers, it means standing out as elite. Visit I Will Drive For You today or scan the QR code to start your free trial today. There are four financial houses that every homeowner is a part of. It's just going to be if you have the audacity to be honest with yourself and say which house you live in. Let's look at house number one. House number one is the poorhouse. Money comes in and the money goes immediately out. Living paycheck to paycheck, maybe even bills are behind. No safety net, no emergency fund. If the job ends tomorrow, the house is at risk. Let me give you an example of how a poorhouse looks. Let me give you this example of how this poorhouse looks. You see that? You have your job, your income. This is your income window from your job, and it goes straight here, out the window. Paying your taxes, your rent, utilities, food, clothes, taking care of your children, auto. You have no savings, no safety net. It goes out the window. I can't take credit for this graph. I read a book called Cash Man, Trash Man to Cash Man by Myron Golden. And these are the houses that he talked about. And I could understand it because at that time, I can identify what house I was in when I read that book. So I want to present this to you homeowners. And I'm challenging you to ask you, what house are you in? This is an example of a poorhouse. This is the poorhouse. The poorhouse is where you have a job, you're working, your income comes into that window and it go right out. You do nothing else. That's the poorhouse. And be honest with yourself. If you're in that poorhouse, you know you got some work to do, right? So let's go to our next house. I want to look at our middle class house. This is the house that I was in and had to eventually get myself out of. And I feel like sometimes I'm not all the way out. I feel like there's one little baby toe still over there, but it's creeping in with the other toes. This is your middle class home. There's income coming in, but it's tied up in liabilities, cars, credit cards, lifestyle upgrade, appearances of stability, but very, very fragile. One setback, like layoffs, rising insurance premiums, or medical bills, and the whole house shakes. The house will shake. Let me give you an example of the middle class house. You see, you have your job, your income comes in, and it goes to wealth reducing liabilities. Your cars, your boats, your credit cards, your campers, revolving charge cards, student loan debt. This is the typical middle class, actually. You show off your boats, you go fishing on the weekend, you have fun with your friends, you wind up at the football games, you want to be among those that you think are doing well, but you know that you got to have that job because you got to pay for those wealth reducing liabilities. And what happens? The rest of your money out the window. Taxes, rent, utilities, food, clothing, auto. You don't even have room to save maybe $100 a month because you're so tight with all of this, I would say, material looking things to impress those. I want us homeowners to get out of that impressing stage and get into building stage. We don't have to impress anyone with a car, with a watch, or purse, clothing, name brand. No. Let's get out of that and let's begin to build our wealth. We need to build our wealth. We need to start investing in things that will bring money in. A Gucci purse don't bring in money. A car don't bring in money unless you're buying it to Uber, or you're buying it to do some type of transportation, or you're buying a pickup truck for maybe your side business that you're going to invest in, that can be hauling things, that can be repairing things. You want to start investing in things that's going to bring money in. And that's going to go to our next house. Our next house, number 3, the beginning of wealth house. I call this the becoming stage. That's how I sort of look at myself. I'm still in that becoming stage. This is where you have income producing assets that come into play. They start buying, or, this is what you'll do. You'll start buying or building things that make you money. Rental property, side businesses, investments. Your money is starting to work for you instead of you just working for money. That's the stage of becoming. And I know that this is the stage I'm in because I used to be in that middle class stage when I read that book by Myron Golden, Trash Man to Cash Man, right? And when he put up these houses, I quickly identified where I was. I could not fool myself. I could not act like I did not know. I knew, right? But this is where I say I feel like I'm coming to. I still got one, maybe 2 toes still over in that middle class house, but the rest of my body is shifting over to this becoming wealthy house. See, I still have a job, right? And then you have your income window. You got your job, you got your income window. But look what's in play right here. Income producing asset window. You're starting to buy real estate, stocks, buying a car wash. You can buy a car wash. You can actually buy a parking lot and have that parking lot where people begin, or truckers or people that own vehicles begin to park their cars there. That's a monthly income, monthly or weekly income. Licenses, like I have my adjuster licenses. I'm licensed in almost every state. So if they call me out, I can go work that state. You know, your royalties, writing a book. I'm on my 2nd book, you know. Because I'm reading on how to become a person of influence. So I'm just tracking and I'm just going along with what I know I need to do to take myself from that middle class household to becoming wealthy household. You got to start investing in income producing assets. And what they do, that income producing asset, you know what it does? It also feeds into the income window. Not just your job feeding the income window. That income producing assets over here is feeding over here. And not only do it feed there, but it feeds here to try to decrease the wealth reducing liabilities. And it also feeds here, taking care of your taxes, your rent, your utilities, your food, clothes, children, your auto expenses. You see, when we start investing in these income producing assets, this is when it changes for us. This is how I want us as homeowners to look at this and empower ourselves. We have to be empowered. We cannot depend on this job here. We're going to take some of this money from this job and start investing. And if you got some good credit, think about buying some land. Thinking about what you would turn it into. Think about buying maybe a duplex, some type of real estate. This can work, but you got to change your mindset, homeowners. We got to assess and look at our financial houses and identify where we are, right? And so this is our last house. I'm not going to keep you long today. This is our last house. And me personally, this should be a long episode, but I'm not. I want you to really chew on this and understand why we're here. We're trying to increase our knowledge. We're trying to empower each other. We're trying to build an empire. Building an empire. So when that job lays us off, we already got our income producing assets over here. We good. We can just horn in over here and make sure that we're able to continue to keep building, right? And that's the whole key. But there's another level. That's the wealthy house. Assets now cover your liabilities, your home, your lifestyle, your future. Everything's paid for from your income producing assets. This is the key. This is the key. And so pretty much what you want to do, don't be ashamed where you are. You want to look at what house you're in and say what house I need to get to and how I'm going to get there. Let me tell you, this here is going to be true independence. Look at this house. This is true independence. Look at that. You don't even have the job anymore. You don't even have that job anymore. You got your income producing assets. That thing is so deep over there. You got your real estate, your parking lot, book royalties, network marketing, websites, affiliates. You got song royalties. We have so much in us that we can produce, and we can have these different income streams coming in. Look at that income producing asset over there. Look at that. IRA licenses. This is where I know I want to be. And look at the wealth reducing liabilities. Gone. Because this here has paid for it. This here takes care of this. This will be able to pay off majority of this. You know you got to pay your taxes. But this will pay off this. This will pay off this. And then you can continue to build. This is the house I want to be in. This wealthy house. This is where I want to be. And let me tell you something. You know what this is called? This is called true independence, where your house doesn't own you. You own your freedom. Ask yourself, homeowners, which house are you in? The poor house, middle class house, the becoming house, or the wealthy house? Ask yourself that. Again, which house are you in right now? And where do you want to go? To me personally, you sort of want to own your freedom. This is true independence, where your house don't own you. Can you imagine that your house don't own you? That you actually own your house? You say homeowners, but we have mortgages to pay, or we have HELOCs to pay, like myself. We don't outright own it, because they can come take it at any time we start missing those payments. The key is to get to the point to where your house doesn't own you. You own your freedom. So which house are you living in today? Truly, be honest with yourself, because the first step to moving up is knowing where you stand. Make a plan. Plan out how you're going to get from one house to the next. How you're going to not have all your eggs in one basket, a job. And we see all these mass layoffs going on, but somehow we think that we're exempt until it hits our front door. Do not wait till you get that pink slip in. Don't do that. You got to start thinking outside the box. You have to take those skills that you learned at these jobs, and you're going to put them to use. Your first order of business is going to be to turn on a camera. I got mine on. I'm right here in front of you. The skills I learned being an adjuster, I'm bringing them to you. I'm bringing them to you. And that's the same thing you can do. The skills that you're learning on these jobs that you're holding for 10, 20, 30 years, you can sit up here and make a whole nother career, a whole nother business, to where you can actually own your home and your home doesn't own you. Yeah. Here's your challenge for this week. Write down one way you can move up just one house. If you're in the poor house, start an emergency fund. I don't even care if it's as little as $20 a week. Start that emergency fund. If you're in the middle class house, cut one liability and redirect that money towards an asset, right? One liability and redirect that money towards an asset. If you're in the becoming wealthy house, reinvest your profits into another stream. So if you've gotten that duplex or that rental property that you're going to buy, you start getting that income coming in. What are you going to say? Maybe I can write a book on how I did this. Or maybe I can buy some land and turn it into a parking lot where trucks can park at. Take that money and reinvest and begin to build your empire. Guess what you can also do? You can mentor someone else. People pay for mentorship. They pay for that. You see how different things can come to your mind of what you can do? You just got to open up your mind and understand, I'm a homeowner and I cannot rely on one job, especially not in these times. And actually, we could never rely on one job, but we've always been conditioned. This is how we were raised: get a good job, retire, buy a house, picket fence. No. We got to redefine the American dream. We retire when we want to. They don't tell us when to retire. We can build businesses. We don't always have to be on somebody else's job. And guess what? If you want to stay on somebody else's job, why don't you be the what they call the entrepreneur? Take it over, run that thing, if that's what you aspire to do. If you can't be an entrepreneur, take that job over, run it from the beginning all the way to the end. You got this. You got this. And remember, mentoring someone else can actually, that's what they call coaching. I'm telling you guys, we have it in us. Homeowners, let's do this. Don't just stay there, and help build others. You got to build your own as well. You got to build your own empire. Oh my God, you have this. You have this. I want to say to you guys that are new here, welcome to Beyond the Claim community, a place where homeowners fight back and protect their future. We are on a mission to empower 20,000 homeowners by the end of the year. And I know 20,000 seems like a huge number because I'm only at 1,100. But that's what we do as homeowners. We push the envelope. We strive. We climb up. We climb towards resistance. That's what we do. So I say 20,000 homeowners by the end of the year. If you're serious about protecting your home and building your future, hit the subscribe button now. Share it with 10 other homeowners that you know. Because I feel that if we come together as a community and we begin to share ideas and we tell each other about our businesses and we help each other improve our businesses and give marketing tips and tactics, listen, we can build a whole empire here. We can build a whole empire right here in this community, Beyond the Claim. Right here in this community. We are about protecting our homes, building futures here. Listen, hit subscribe now, share, and also comment. Let us know some ideas that you may have. What's for you is for you. No one can take it. But sharing ideas, getting people pumped up and ready to do more than what they've ever done before. That's what we do. Listen, protecting your home starts with knowledge. And together, we've got this. We can do this, y'all. Hey, this is it. This is our episode for today. Hey, what house are you in? Be real. Be authentic with yourself. And take the challenge. Begin the process of moving from one house to the next. And I will see you on the next episode. Take care.